tapped softly against the glass, like heaven was trying to speak. I sat in the dark with a heart worn thin, too tired to even weep.
The old wooden floor gave a quiet sigh as midnight drifted so slow, and somewhere beneath all the weight in my chest, I prayed you still wouldn't let go.
I thought I had wandered too far from the light, but mercy was waiting, awake through the night.
The candle stayed burning for me when my faith was barely alive. Through all of the storms and the cold, lonely roads, your love never once said goodbye. And all of the shadows that followed my soul started fading so gently and free. The candle stayed burning for me.
The kettle was humming beside the fire, while soft worship played down the hall.
And there in the hush of that fragile warm room, my fears didn't feel quite as strong.
No thunder from heaven, no mountains were shaking, no blinding miraculous sign, just Jesus remaining beside all my pain, with patience too sacred for time. And maybe real grace comes quietly down, like peace slowly settling around. The candle stayed burning for me when my faith was barely alive. Through all of the storms and the cold, lonely roads, your love never once said goodbye. And all of the shadows that followed my soul started fading so gently and free. The candle stayed burning for me. If someday the darkness returns to my door, and sorrow still calls out my name, remind me your kindness is stronger than fear, and mercy outlasts every pain.
Because no broken child is forgotten above, no trembling heartbeat unseen, and even the loneliest soul in the night still matters deeply to the King. The candle stayed burning for me, like warm golden light through the rain. You gathered the pieces I tried hard to hide, and held every sorrow with grace. Now every cold midnight feels softer somehow, since heaven walked gently with me. The candle stayed burning for me.
The night train faded beyond the hill, while rain kissed the old window pane. I sat with a heart full of tired old scars and memories heavy as chains. The lamp beside me burned quietly low, like hope trying hard not to die. And somewhere beneath all the noise in my soul, I felt heaven drawing near softly.
I thought I had buried too much pain to heal, but mercy still knows what broken hearts feel. The rain finally sounded like peace, after so many sleepless nights. Jesus, stay close through the ache in my chest, and held every tear I could hide, and all of the storms that once haunted my soul lost their power little by little on me. The rain finally sounded like peace.
The fireplace breathed with a warm amber glow, while old worship hummed through the room. And there in the hush of that fragile small place, my fears didn't echo as loud. No thunder descending, no oceans dividing, no miracle split through the sky. Just Jesus remaining through every dark hour, too loving to leave my side.
And maybe true comfort arrives quietly, like warmth slowly teaching you to breathe. The rain finally sounded like peace, after so many sleepless nights. Jesus, stay close through the ache in my chest, and held every tear I could hide, and all of the storms that once haunted my soul lost their power little by little on me. The rain finally sounded like peace.
If someday the darkness returns to my door, and sorrow still follows my name, Remind me your kindness outlasts every fear, and mercy remains through the rain.
Because no lonely spirit is unseen above, no weary heart left in the cold. And even the weakest and trembling souls still rest safely inside your love. The rain finally sounded like peace, while dawn slowly colored the sky. And somewhere between all my breaking and grief, I finally stopped asking why. Now every cold midnight feels softer somehow, since heaven sat gently with me. The rain finally sounded like peace.
The storm rode slowly across the hills, while midnight darkened the sky. I sat by the window with trembling hands and tears I was too tired to hide. The old house breathed with the tired warmth, the shadows swayed soft near the flame. And somewhere beneath all the ache in my soul, I felt heaven calling my name. I thought I had wandered too far to be found, but mercy still quietly came around. The firelight still knew my name when my heart forgot who I was. Jesus stayed close through the cold, lonely night and covered my wounds with love. And all of the sorrow I carried alone started fading little by little away. The firelight still knew my name. The vinyl kept spinning old worship songs low, like angels were humming nearby. And there in the hush of that fragile warm room, my fear slowly loosened inside. No thunder descending, no oceans dividing, no mountains moved out of the way. Just Jesus remaining beside all my grief, until peace finally stayed. And maybe true healing arrives without sound, like warmth slowly settling around. firelight still knew my name when my heart forgot who I was. Jesus, stay close through the cold, lonely night and cover my wounds with love. And all of the sorrow I carried alone started fading little by little away. The firelight still knew my name. If someday the darkness returns to my door and winter settles inside my chest, remind me your kindness still burns through the storm, giving weary hearts a place to rest. Because no broken spirit is unseen above, no trembling soul forgotten there, and even the loneliest hearts in the night still rest safely inside your care. The firelight still knew my name, while dawn slowly colored the rain. And somewhere between all my sorrow and grief, I finally started to heal again. Now every cold midnight feels warmer somehow, since mercy remembered my pain. The firelight still knew my name. The city lights faded beyond the rain, like tired stars losing their glow. I carried a heart full of invisible wounds, too deep for the world to know.
The coffee had gone cold beside my hands, while midnight stood still in the room. And every old fear I had buried for years returned like familiar ghosts.
I tried to be strong, tried hiding the ache, but heaven already saw every break.
When the world grew quiet, he found me there in the silence alone, not with thunder or fire from heaven above, but kindness that felt like home. And all of the sorrow I carried for miles slowly melted away somehow. When the world grew quiet, he found me.
The old radio whispered soft hymns through the dark, like angels were humming nearby. The candlelight danced on the edge of the walls, while tears slowly fell from explanations, no words even needed. Just peace sitting close in the night, the kind that arrives when the shepherd stays near, holding the broken inside. And maybe real love doesn't always appear in loud dramatic moments of life.
Maybe sometimes grace comes quietly down and simply stays through the night. When the world grew quiet, he found me there in the silence alone, not with thunder or fire from heaven above, but kindness that felt like home. And all of the sorrow I carried for miles slowly melted away somehow. When the world grew quiet, he found me.
So when life becomes heavy again, and the night feels too endless to cross, I'll remember the warmth of his presence that stayed when I thought my whole soul was lost.
Because no trembling heart is forgotten above, no wounded spirit unseen, and even the loneliest tears in the dark still matter deeply to heaven's King.
When the world grew quiet, he found me like sunrise after the storm. He gathered the pieces I hid from the light and held them gently and warm. Now even the silence feels softer somehow, since mercy walked into my life. Then the world grew quiet, he found me. Rain on the porch, cat whispering low, like heaven was calling my name. I sat with the ache I could never explain, and memories I couldn't escape.
The old house was silent except for the clock and the fire that barely still glowed. I stared at the shadows stretched thin on the walls, feeling farther from peace than before.
I thought I had hidden the wounds deep inside, but mercy sees what we try to deny.
He held my heart while the storm passed by, when I was too tired to stand. He covered my fears with a love soft enough to fit through the cracks in my hands. And all of the sorrow I carried for years slowly loosened inside. He held my heart while the storm passed by.
The radio hummed an old worship song, like someone was praying nearby. And there in the warmth of that flickering room, the heaviness started to die.
No grand revelations, no oceans divided, no thunder descending above. Just Jesus remaining through all of the dark, with patient, unshakable love.
Maybe true healing arrives quietly, like peace sitting down next to grief.
He held my heart while the storm passed by, when I was too tired to stand. He covered my fears with a love soft enough to fit through the cracks in my hands. And all of the sorrow I carried for years slowly loosened inside. He held my heart while the storm passed by.
If tomorrow the night grows heavy again, and my soul feels restless and warm, remind me the shepherd still walks through the rain, keeping his children warm.
'Cause no shattered spirit is lost from his sight, no lonely tear falls unseen. And even the weakest and trembling hearts still rest where his mercy has been. He held my heart while the storm passed by, while thunder rolled over the sky. And somewhere between all my breaking grief, I finally stopped asking why. Now every cold midnight feels softer somehow, since grace stayed here by my side. He held my heart while the storm passed by.
Kept falling beyond the glass, while night wrapped the world in gray. I sat with the weight of 1,000 fears, too weak to push them away. The old couch creaked softly beneath the lamp. shadows move close to the floor, and somewhere beneath all the ache in my chest, I felt mercy walk through the door.
I thought I had drifted too far from the light, but love still remembered my name that night.
He never let the candle go out, even when my faith burned low. Jesus stayed close through the cold and the dark, when I had nowhere left to go, and all of the sorrow I carried for years slowly loosen its hold somehow. He never let the candle go out. The kettle kept singing its soft little hymn, while old worship played down the hall. And there in the warmth of that fragile small room, my fears didn't feel quite as strong. No oceans divided, no thunder from heaven, no fire split open the sky. Just Jesus remaining beside all my grief, too loving to say goodbye.
And maybe true healing arrives very small, like peace finally settling through it all. He never let the candle go out, even when my faith burned low. Jesus stayed close through the cold and the dark, when I had nowhere left to go, and all of the sorrow I carried for years slowly loosen its hold somehow. He never let the candle go out. If someday the darkness returns to my door, and winter settles inside my soul, remind me your kindness still burns through the storm, like warmth through the bitter cold. Because no lonely spirit is unseen above, no wounded heart forgotten there, and even the weakest and trembling souls still rest safely inside your care. He never let the candle go out, while dawn slowly entered the rain. And somewhere between all my breaking and grief, I finally started to heal again. Now every cold midnight feels softer somehow, since mercy stayed close through it all.
He never let the candle go out. I drove through the dark with a heart full of noise, past empty old streets, was in the rain. The world felt too heavy to carry that night, like hope had forgotten my name. A small wooden house stood alone by the hill, with warm golden light through the storm. And somehow my soul felt a strange kind of peace before I had stepped through the door.
No voice from the heavens, no bright flashing signs, just mercy waiting quietly inside.
Jesus left the porch light on for the weary and lost like me. When my faith was weak and my heart gave out, His love still waited patiently. And all of the shame that I carried for years started falling away one by one, like a child coming home through the cold midnight rain. Jesus left the porch light on. The kettle was humming a soft little song, while shadows danced close to the fire. And there in the silence I finally let go of all I was too tired to fight. No judgment waiting, no anger or distance, just kindness steady and warm, the kind that can heal even old hidden wounds, just by letting a broken soul rest.
And maybe salvation feels smaller sometimes, like peace sitting down by your side.
Jesus left the porch light on for the weary and lost like me. When my faith was weak and my heart gave out, His love still waited patiently. And all of the shame that I carried for years started falling away one by one, like a child coming home through the cold midnight rain. Jesus left the porch light on. So when life becomes colder again and the road disappears in the night, I'll remember the glow of that quiet small love, still shining through windows of light. Because heaven is not always thunder and fire, sometimes it's simple and small. A Savior waiting, awake in the silence, refusing to let His children fall. Jesus left the porch light on, and suddenly I wasn't alone. The storm kept raging, but something inside me finally felt safely home. Now every lost part of my wandering soul knows exactly where it belongs, at the end of the road, through the rain and the dark. Jesus left the porch light on. The rain kept falling on the rooftop slope, like heaven was too tired to speak. I sat by the window with shadows and grief, and burdens too heavy to keep. The clock on the wall kept counting the ache of another long sleepless night, while memories circled like cold winter winds, stealing the warmth from my mind.
I thought I was alone, with the dark closing in, but mercy was already walking in.
The night he stayed until I slept,
while tears still burned my eyes. He covered every fear I couldn't explain, with silence gentle and kind. And somewhere between my breaking and peace, my restless soul finally wept. The whole world faded into quiet grace, the night he stayed until I slept.
the fire burned low with a soft amber glow, like candlelight breathing in gold. And there in the hush of that fragile small room, my heart slowly loosened its hold. No thunder or voices, no mountains were moved, no miracle split open the sky. Just Jesus remaining through every sad hour, too loving to leave my side.
And maybe true healing arrives without sound, like warm hands resting softly down. The night he stayed until I slept, while tears still burned my eyes. He covered every fear I couldn't explain, with silence gentle and kind. Somewhere between my breaking and peace, my restless soul finally wept. The whole world faded into quiet grace, the night he stayed until I slept.
If tomorrow the sorrow returns like the rain, and my strength disappears once again, remind me that love doesn't always speak loud. Sometimes it simply remains. Even the weakest and loneliest hearts still matter deeply above. And no broken soul is too shattered to hold inside everlasting love.
The night he stayed until I slept, the storm still whispered outside, but heaven had wrapped all the pieces of me, too wounded and tired to hide. And now when the darkness grows heavy again, I remember the warmth that I felt, the peace of a Savior refusing to leave, the night he stayed until I slept.
The night he stayed until I slept. The moonlight faded across the old floor, while rain traced the edges of dawn. I sat with a heart that had carried too much for far too painfully long.
The room smelled of coffee and old cedar wood, while shadows moved soft through the flame. And somewhere beneath all the ache in my chest, I heard heaven whisper my name.
I thought I was too far, too broken to say, but mercy still found me awake. He sat with me until the morning came, when the night felt too heavy to bear. He stayed through the silence and held all my fears, with love resting softly there. And somewhere between all my sorrow and tears, the darkness slowly gave way. He sat with me until the morning came. The old vinyl player spun gentle hymns low, like angels were humming nearby. And there in the hush of that fragile warm room, the weight in my spirit grew light.
No oceans divided, no thunder from heaven, no mountains moved out of the way. Just Jesus remaining beside all my grief, until peace finally stayed.
And maybe true comfort doesn't always arrive like fire descending from skies. Maybe sometimes grace quietly enters the room and simply stays by your side.
He sat with me until the morning came, when the night felt too heavy to bear.
He stayed through the silence
And held all my fears, with love resting softly there.
and somewhere between all my sorrow and tears, the darkness slowly gave way. He sat with me until the morning came. If someday the loneliness calls me again, and winter returns to my soul, remind me your kindness still walks through the dark, leaving warmth wherever it goes.
Because no weary heart is forgotten above, no trembling spirit unseen. And even the deepest and loneliest wounds still matter deeply to the King. He sat with me until the morning came, while sunrise poured gold through the rain. And there in the quiet I finally believed maybe I could heal again.
softer somehow, since mercy remembered my name. He sat with me until the morning came.
He sat with me until the morning came, when the night felt too heavy to bear. He stayed through the silence and held all my fears, with love resting softly there. And somewhere between all my sorrow and tears, the darkness slowly gave way.
He sat with me until the morning came. The rain fell softly against the porch, while midnight drifted through the trees. I sat with a heart full of silent wars, too tired to fall to my knees.
The old lamp glowed with a trembling warmth. The shadows moved slow on the wall, and somewhere beneath all the ache in my chest, I felt heaven here in it all.
I thought I had carried too much pain alone, but mercy still knew the way back home.
Jesus stayed while the whole world slept, when my soul was breaking apart. He sat through the silence and held every wound, too heavy and deep for my heart. And all of the darkness I buried for years
Slowly loosened his
grip on me. Jesus stayed while the whole world slept.
The fireplace whisper with soft amber light, while old hymns played low through the room. And there in the hush of that fragile warm night, my fears didn't echo as loud.
No thunder from heaven, no bright revelations, no mountains moved out of the way. Just Jesus remaining through all of my grief, with kindness too sacred for words.
And maybe true healing arrives quietly, like peace teaching sorrow to breathe.
Jesus stayed while the whole world slept, when my soul was breaking apart. He sat through the silence and held every wound, too heavy and deep for my heart. And all of the darkness I buried for years slowly loosened its grip on Jesus stayed while the whole world slept.
If someday the loneliness finds me again, and winter returns to my soul, remind me your mercy still walks through the dark, leaving warmth wherever it goes. Because no trembling spirit is unseen above, no weary heart left in the cold, and even the deepest and loneliest pain still matters more than we know.
Jesus stayed while the whole world slept, while dawn slowly entered the sky. And somewhere between all my sorrow and fear, I finally stopped asking why.
Now every cold midnight feels softer somehow, since grace gently sat beside me.
Jesus stayed while the whole world slept. The lamp on the table was fading to gold, while midnight grew heavy outside. I whispered my fears to the quiet again. With tears I was trying to hide.
The wind touched the curtains like soft, weary hands, and somewhere a church bell rang low.
I thought I was lost in the ache of this life, too far for your mercy to go.
Heaven sat beside me tonight, right here in the silence and rain. You lifted the weight from my tired little soul, and held every unspoken pain. And all of the darkness I carried alone began slowly losing its fight.
Heaven sat beside me tonight.
The old rocking chair softly creaked by the fire,
Like someone was praying for me. And there in the hush of that small sacred room, my restless heart finally breathed.
no thunder of angels, no oceans that parted, just peace falling softly like snow. The kind only found when the shepherd
spirit stays near, refusing to let his child go. And maybe true miracles don't always appear like flashes of glory and flame. Maybe sometimes heaven just quietly comes and lovingly whispers your name. Heaven sat beside me tonight, right here in the silence and rain. You lifted the weight from my tired little soul and held every unspoken pain. And all of the darkness I carried alone began slowly losing its fight. Heaven sat beside me tonight. If tomorrow the sorrow returns once again and the night feels too lonely to bear, remind me the Savior still walks through the storm, leaving kindness everywhere. Even the trembling and weakest of hearts are never too broken to find the warmth of His arms in the middle of grief, and the peace only heaven can provide. Heaven sat beside me tonight, like candlelight glowing so near. You covered my fears with a tenderness deep, until even sadness grew still. And now when the whole world feels distant and cold, I close my eyes and remember the light. The night heaven sat beside me tonight.
The rain rolled slowly across the roof, like tired hands learning to pray. I sat with the ache I had hidden for years, too worn down to push it away.
The room smelled of cedar and old coffee grounds, while shadows moved close to the flame. And somewhere beneath all the fear in my chest, I heard mercy calling my name.
I thought I had wandered too far from the light, but love still waited awake through the night.
close through the cold and the dark, and carry the weight inside me.
And all of the sorrow I buried so deep lost its hold little by little on me. When heaven sang softly through the storm,
The vinyl played old worship low in the dark, like angels were humming nearby.
and there in the hush of that fragile warm room, the tears finally fell from my eyes.
No oceans divided, no thunder from heaven, no fire tearing open the sky.
Just Jesus remaining beside all my grief, to love and leave my side.
And maybe true healing arrives very small, like peace quietly entering your walls.
When heaven sang softly through the storm, my restless soul finally breathed. Jesus, stay close through the cold and the dark, and carry the weight inside me. And all of the sorrow I buried so deep lost its hold little by little on me. When heaven sang softly through the storm.
If someday the darkness returns once again, and winter settles inside my chest,
Remind me your kindness still walks through the rain, giving weary hearts a place to rest.
'cause no lonely spirit is forgotten above, no wounded soul unseen.
And even the hearts that feel shattered beyond repair still matter deeply to the King.
When heaven sang softly through the storm, the night slowly loosened its chains, and somewhere between all my breaking and grief, your mercy washed over my pain.
Now every cold midnight feels warmer somehow, since grace gently walked into me. When heaven sang softly through the storm. while shadows stretched across the room. I sat with a soul that was worn paper thin, and memories I couldn't outrun. The coffee had long since turned cold in my hands, as midnight grew heavy and slow. And somewhere beneath all the noise in my chest, I prayed you still wouldn't let go. I thought I had hidden too deep in the dark, but mercy still knew where my brokenness was.
Jesus whispered through the quiet rain, when my heart forgot how to hope. He stayed through the silence and held every fear, too heavy to carry alone.
And all of the sorrow that lived in my soul started loosening little by little, again. Jesus whispered through the quiet rain. The old wooden walls hum softly with hymns, while candlelight flickered in gold. And there in the warmth of that small fragile room, my restless spirit grew still. No thunder from heaven, no mountains were shaking, no fire split open the sky. Just Jesus remaining through every dark hour, with patient, unbreakable love. And maybe true healing arrives like the rain, soft enough not to scare us away.
Jesus whispered through the quiet rain, when my heart forgot how to hope. He stayed through the silence and held every fear, too heavy to carry alone.
And all of the sorrow that lived in my soul started loosening little by little again. Jesus whispered through the quiet rain. If someday the darkness returns once again, and the loneliness calls out my name, remind me your kindness still walks through the storm, and mercy remains through the pain. Because no wounded spirit is unseen above, no trembling soul left behind. And even the hearts that feel shattered beyond repair still matter deeply in heaven's eyes.
Jesus whispered through the quiet rain, while dawn slowly entered the sky. And somewhere between all my breaking and grief, I finally stopped trying to hide.
Now every cold midnight feels softer somehow, since grace gently entered my pain. Jesus whispered through the quiet rain.
Jesus whispered through the quiet rain. When my heart forgot how to hope, He stayed through the silence and held every fear, too heavy to carry alone.
And all of the sorrow that lived in my soul started loosening little by little again. Jesus whispered through the quiet rain. The highway was empty beneath silver rain, as midnight grew colder, and still I carried 1,000 unspoken regrets, too broken for anyone's hands to heal.
The dashboard light trembled across tired eyes that hadn't found rest in so long. And somewhere between all the silence and storms, I felt like my whole soul was gone.
But mercy has ways of finding the lost, even when hope feels already gone.
Jesus waited through the rain for me when nobody else could stay. Through all of the nights I wandered alone, trying to outrun the pain. And there in the dark, where my spirit gave out, His kindness still called me by name.
Jesus waited through the rain for me. A small little diner still glowed in the night, with old hymns played soft through the air. The waitress kept smiling like heaven somehow had quietly entered in there.
The coffee was warm in my trembling cold hands, while thunder rolled far down the sky. And for the first time in what felt like years, I finally stopped asking why.
Because sometimes salvation arrives very small,
Like peace sitting down through it all. Jesus waited through the rain for me when nobody else could stay. Through all of the nights I wandered alone, trying to outrun the pain. And there in the dark, where my spirit gave out, His kindness still called me by name.
Jesus waited through the rain for me.
Ooh.
return once again, and sorrow still follows my road.
Remind me your love does not leave weary hearts to carry their suffering alone.
Even the souls that feel hardest to save still matter deeply above, and no distant child is too far from the reach of everlasting love.
Jesus waited through the rain for me, like light through a cold, broken sky. He gathered the pieces I buried for years and stayed through the tears that I cried. Now every lonely road feels softer somehow, since mercy walked right into my pain. Jesus waited through the rain for me.
The snow began falling outside the old house, while midnight turned silver and blue. I sat by the window with trembling cold hands and questions I couldn't get through.
The world felt so distant and painfully loud, like peace had been buried somewhere. But there in the hush of that flickering room, I felt heaven breathe through the air.
No loud hallelujahs, no bright shining signs, just mercy arriving on time. Jesus kept the fire warm all night when my soul was too weary to speak.
He covered my fears with a tenderness soft
And stayed through the tears on my cheeks. And somewhere between all the silence and pain, my restless heart finally slowed.
Jesus kept the fire warm all night.
The kettle sang low like an old faithful hymn, while shadows danced close to the flame.
And every old wound that I carried alone didn't feel quite as heavy again.
No thunder from heaven, no oceans divided, no miracles tearing the sky. Just Jesus remaining through every dark hour, to love and to leave my side.
And maybe true healing feels smaller than we think, like peace finally letting you breathe.
Jesus kept the fire warm all my soul was too weary to speak.
He covered my fears with a tenderness soft,
And stay through the tears on my cheeks. Somewhere between all the silence and pain, my restless heart finally slowed.
Jesus kept the fire warm all night.
If someday the winter returns to my door and sorrow grows heavy again,
Remind me your kindness still burns through the dark, like light through the cold and the wind.
because no lonely child is
Forgotten above,
no broken spirit unseen. And even the weakest and trembling heart still rests safely inside your peace.
Jesus kept the fire warm all night,
While snow covered all of the earth.
and there in the quiet I finally believed.
Maybe my soul still had worth. Now every cold midnight feels softer somehow, since mercy walked into my home.
Jesus kept the fire warm all night.
The rain kept falling on the rooftop slope, like heaven was too tired to speak. I sat by the window with shadows and grief, and burdens too heavy to keep. The clock on the wall kept counting the ache of another long sleep.